Hello, everyone. I think I am online. Is that correct? Can someone receive this live message? Don't you call me almighty? I mean, maybe. We don't know. Someone once called me the, what was the name? It was actually something bad. I was like the #1 propagandist. Oh my God, that was my sound. Please excuse that. I was the #1 propagandist of DJI. I don't know if that is a compliment or something mean. I think it was meant mean. So do you guys receive a signal from Germany? Hello to, what am I seeing? Russia, South Africa, Kosovo, Norway. So many countries, the US and Singapore. So hello everybody joining. And before we actually talk about the Mavic, actually this is not a big video. I'm only testing the live feed and the live stream for like further projects, and maybe in the future I will be I don't know, showing some more interesting live streams. So this is kind of a test, and maybe we're just chatting a little bit. And yeah, before we actually talk about the Mavic, I wanted to talk to you guys about the reasons why I was offline for such a long time. And it actually all started. It started when DJI contacted me, and they made me fly to China. And I was invited in China, right in Shenzhen. And that was actually a nice trip, but it was tough, 2 days only. And like the flight back was a 30 hours flight because I had to board 3 planes. But let's not talk about that. So if you want to know more about China, yeah, I'm just going to tell you some more. Maybe some more people are going to join. We never know. What is the point about? So I was in China, and I had a nice hotel. And at DJI, I was actually only allowed to see their showroom. And I don't know, the showroom is a showroom. And the cool thing about the showroom is that usually you can just take your camera and record some footage, and that's basically what happens. But DJI is different, as we all know. And I was not allowed to film and take photos until like 10 minutes before my taxi arrived. And I just grabbed my Osmo and ran through these epic halls and just captured the showroom. I didn't really get why they were so nervous, probably because of the Mavic and the Osmo Mobile and stuff. But yeah, that was my DJI experience. I actually got to talk to them about, yeah, all our requests, all the stuff that I hear from you guys from, yeah, the community. They wanted to get in touch and wanted to get a feedback like from the community. And because I'm not a DJI employee, even though some people think I am paid by DJI, I'm not. Yeah, they wanted to get that direct feedback. And I think I got to talk to them about many things. And I hear a lot from the community, of course, on Facebook, for example, within my Facebook group, and on YouTube itself, of course, as well. And we got in touch pretty nicely. So next topic is that when I arrived back in Germany after the 30 hours flight back from Hong Kong, where I met a very nice DJI employee again. So that was not planned. There was a DJI store right at the Hong Kong airport. So I arrived back in Germany, and 5 days later, I boarded another plane and flew to Israel. Over there in Israel, I was capturing a lot of footage. I was privately hosted from another drone pilot that kind of knows me, knows my work and stuff, which is pretty cool. So I got to stay at a house close to Tel Aviv, which was very, very nice. And for 10 days, I was driving all around the country trying to record footage with these babes behind me, the Inspire 1, and it's actually the Inspire 1 Pro, and with the Phantom 4. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Mavic a little later. So this is, like I said, it's a test and it's a private video for the loyals. I mean, it's not private, it's public, but you guys know what I'm saying, right? So I was in Israel and I was recording stuff, and that is one of the main reasons. I didn't post anything, and that is one of the main reasons why I didn't post anything. And the point is that I am planning to do a whole new series about aerial filmmaking. It's probably going to be called the Drone Film School, and that will be up from, I don't know, there's no exact date yet. The release of the Mavic, I'm planning the release of a review and videos about the Osmo Mobile. And after the Osmo Mobile stuff, we're gonna start with the Drone Film School. And because I'm preparing quite some stuff, that's actually the reason why I didn't come back to you. Okay, I was back in Germany, and like again, 5 days later, I had to move to a new flat to a new city, like 3 hours away from where I was living before. And right now, it's actually the first time I'm having a studio. Take a look. I'm just moving my computer. So this is like the studio room usually. I hope you can still hear me. I have the drones over here, and I just filmed them with all my soft boxes and the black background. And behind the black background, I have another green screen and a white background. This is actually pretty nice, and I hope I can keep up the work. And yeah, what else is there to say? Yeah, then I was waiting for the Mavic to arrive, and the first problem was that I did not have an internet connection. It wasn't working. For some weird reason, everything was installed, but it did not work. So I had problems with the provider, and I was offline. And for example, when there was like the big show on the Mavic, when DJI had the live presentation, I was standing at an IKEA store. I had the laptop in my hand and was watching the live stream with headphones on, and everybody was staring at me. What is this freaking guy doing? And yeah, that's how I enjoyed the show, and it was quite a tricky time. And then my Mavic Pro was on its way to the final destination. And the final destination was quite far away, as my package got stopped in Leipzig, like in Eastern Germany. And the customs stopped it for several days because they didn't really get what was inside. They said it's a drone and it's a remote controller, and we just can't let this thing pass through. And I was like, oh, I have received so many before, so what's your problem? What's this about? And I don't know what it was, but a couple of days later, it finally arrived. And right now, it is rainy out there every single day. But I'm working, so whenever it stops raining, I'm running outdoors, just working with the Mavic. And this is it. The Mavic Pro, all folded up. Did I say everything I wanted to say before? Yeah, as I said, this is new. This is the Mavic Pro, all folded up. Let me just unfold it. So we just turn it around, just unfold the arms. We again turn it around. Okay, that was stupid. Am I nervous because of this live stream video? Maybe a little bit. So now it might work better. So here we have it, the Mavic Pro. I hope you can see it because I can't see my screen anymore. Yeah, this is the Mavic Pro. It is really tiny. So, and the camera in there, you might see it. It's really shaky. And I was like, oh, this can't be steady at all. It's like, it's the most shaky drone camera that I ever saw. Maybe you can see it. It's really shaky. But the point is, it's DJI stable when you finally watch the videos. So this is pretty cool. But I don't want to get in depth because I don't want to talk about the Mavic too much, because you guys are supposed to watch my review. And one word about my review. Everybody keeps asking me, Tom, are you going to do a review on the Mavic? And of course I'm going to do a review on the Mavic. But the point is, first of all, I got mine super late. And the second point is that producing my videos always takes a while. And that is actually the one reason that I wanted to actually talk about. I wanted to tell you guys that my videos are produced. I can show you my camera. Give me a second. Ta-da! So this is like my camera setup. And you can see this is not like a basic DSLR or something you can just use and just go outdoors and have some fun with. It's a really serious camera because I am working with cameras. That is my normal daily business until November only, though. And yeah, that's why it always takes some time. And so please, guys, I don't know, you can purchase one, and you could do me a big favor by purchasing it via the link that you can find in the video description below. That way I get a small commission, but I don't want to commerce that. The point is that just producing the high quality stuff takes a while. For example, I need to take this Mavic Pro for a 7 days test before I actually start shooting the film. Because I think most people just unbox it, just start it, fly the, I don't know, empty the battery once, and then they produce the video. But the point is my drone, my channel is absolutely focusing on drones. And that means to me personally that I really got to get in depth. So if I would be only telling you, oh, this thing has VPS installed and it has a 4K camera and it's stabilized and it's awesome, and buy it. So if that would be the only thing that I tell you, I think you could already go out there, and on YouTube you find plenty of these videos, even though some good ones are on already as well. But the point is, too many are just trying to sell you the Mavic. And I want to just go in depth. And but wait a second. It's just I'm sitting so uncomfortably. Maybe we can even go for a little short flight. Like this is the flight controller, and I'm using my iPhone 6. Let's just turn the remote controller on, because actually the point is that flying indoors is quite tough. And in this new flat, all the quadcopters, they get confused because there's not even a single satellite available in here. You can see the Mavic building up. So the Mavic is already ready to go. You can see that. See, ATTI mode. Does it have any satellites? Nope, no satellites. And by the way, guys, if you want to know what the ATTI mode is, you should browse my video. I think it's a quite good one. And you should watch that. And there is an how to fly indoors tutorial of mine as well. And right now, maybe we just... I'm going to crash. Why am I going to crash, Sama? You should not tell that. Okay, let's just get the Mavic Pro up in the sky once. And maybe you're interested in just taking a look if it is a stable flying camera and drone or not. So I only hope it's not going to crash. Let's see what happens. Are we ready to go? Oh, I'm invisible. Wait, this just looks weird. To a filmmaker. So let's just... So this is the Mavic Pro hovering. And it's rock solid. And it has ATTI. So this is pretty cool. I could have a drink. Look at it. It's that solid. I can just put this remote controller away. And again, no satellites. I don't know if you can hear me. Ta-da! I just hand caught the new Mavic, as people are not supposed to land drones. And by the way, the Mavic is a little tougher to land, because if you just touch down, if you land too bumpy, it just raises height again. And it all the time asks if it should do the landing procedure on its own without our help. What does that tell about the pilots out there? Are we crashing the Phantoms too often during landing? And yeah, I was actually quite happy, because we can just grab it from the sky, as with the Phantoms, because that was kind of a problem. In Israel, when filming over there, there were... Oh, here. The Mavic working. Yeah, okay. So do you have any special further questions? Give me a second, I need a seat. Because again, this was supposed to be, I know I just wanted to answer all those questions personally, where people kept asking me, Tom, are you going to publish a review on the new DJI Mavic Pro? And yes, I am. So maybe in about a week, the video will be online. The camera is too small, is what Max says. Yes, the camera is tiny. Let me just turn the Mavic Pro off. It is absolutely tiny. Wait, give me one more second. Like this, maybe. So we can now see the size differences of these two cameras. And I think, personally, that the camera is really small. But the point is that it delivers pretty good images. But again, I don't want to get in depth, as you guys are really supposed to watch my review. I think I have an assistant, by the way, I wanted to say. And that assistant is controlling, like going through the comments, where sometimes we have odd people. When I talk about Israel, they just start yelling at me. And I just don't want to have those people in here. Yeah, so, well, there's one thing that I can say already now, but I think it's like not a mystery. The point is that the Phantom 4 is more stable in air due to its size. And of course, the Inspire is even more stable. And the Mavic is mid-stable as the camera itself. But somehow it produces the same super steady shots. So actually, this was actually it. So I'm just going to go through the comments. Maybe I find some. Well, there is one question about this plastic bubble. This plastic bubble is actually for protection. So it's not supposed to be on the or in front of the camera during flight and filming. But the point is, I would recommend leaving this thing on for beginners or for like the first 2 or 3 flights, even though crashing this machine is quite tough as the Phantom 4. So if you want to crash it, you really have to work on that. And you just pop it in, usually for transportation. But again, on the first few flights, you can just leave it on there. And until now, I have not seen any reflections or flares or glares or anything disturbing. So until now, it was just working fine. But still, as a filmmaker, I would always just get rid of that thing. And I would try to add some ND filters instead. And I think there is one store already producing. I'm not quite sure if they're already shipping ND filters for the Mavic. But what is their name? I forgot their name. I'm just going to mention that in the review, hopefully. And so there will be ND filters for this really, really tiny lens. Did they mention waterproofing? I'm not quite sure. I wouldn't just... No, it does not look sealed at all. We have all the sensors at the back. That does not look waterproof at all. But the point is, it was raining today when I just were outdoors flying it. And it was raining, let's say, slightly, but the Mavic Pro was able to, I don't know, just continue its flight. I was flying within the, let's say, calm rain for maybe 2 to 3 minutes only. That was fine. And I was flying the Phantom 4 in heavier rain before. And I wouldn't want to do this again because it's just quite risky and I was quite far away. That's why I had to return and it took quite a while. But the Phantom 4 is working perfectly until today. So I don't know how DJI does that. But I think there is not that much. There are not that many possibilities for water to enter, even though still enough. So just don't throw it inside your, I don't know, inside your bathtub or something. Don't go too crazy with it. Anything else? Is it worth buying a Phantom 3 4K over the Advanced? Yeah, I personally would do that myself. So if I would have to choose, make a decision between the Phantom 3 4K and the Advanced, I would go for the 4K because I'm the filmmaker type of a guy. But let's not get lost in that. I'm a filmmaker type of guy, and I need to have an awesome camera. And the camera is, to me personally, more important than a super wide range, because usually I fly out only like 50 or 80 meters to just control an awesome shot. So I would go for the Phantom 3 4K. So again, indoor hovering, is the position locked, or can it drift with blast of air? The position is not locked because it simply has no GPS at all. We neither had GPS nor GLONASS. It was all ATTI. Again, you can look up my tutorial on that, because I think really interesting, and personally I think every pilot should be able to use the ATTI, and which finally means that it's drifting with the wind, as what you've been saying. But the point is, and that is again the DJI magic, it's the sensors at the bottom, and we have like the sonars over here, and we have the cameras. And they just track what's on the ground, the cameras, and they just try to keep the drone just right above these obstacles that it tracked. So if there was some wind, it would not have flown away, even though, of course, it depends on on how strong that wind was. And I can show you something else, just to make sure it didn't crash within this video. I mean, as I said, usually it works without anything at the bottom, but you can see there's some stuff at the ground, just for the VPS to have at least some points of recognition, so that it was able to track these points. And yeah, so the VPS works perfectly, honestly. Let's not get lost again. Would you take the Mavic over the P4? Yeah, that is a serious question from a guy named Bielefeld, which is like 40 kilometers from here, which is interesting. So hello to Bielefeld. And I can't answer that right now. I will have to answer that within the review. So how are the props removed? Removing the props, you can just take the Mavic Pro and, okay, let me just try to get closer without crashing it. So you go pretty much closer, and right now we push and rotate, and now we have the props removed. Because at first it looks like the Mavic has some, I don't know, fixed propellers, but they are not fixed. So you can remove them and replace them, of course, if you crash the Mavic or whatsoever. And putting it on is quite simple again. Press, rotate, let go, and ta-da! It's all in place. Did you take some shots in Israel with the Mavic? Unfortunately, no. I asked DJI to send in the Mavic earlier. I asked them to send it in like 2 weeks before they actually do the whole show about it. Because that way I would have probably been able to have a video ready at that point, but they didn't. Hopefully they will, I don't know, next time give me something right on time so that I can start producing again. I have big equipment that I'm using for my videos, and that takes some time. I hope they send it in earlier. So unfortunately not, I will have to, I don't know, record some footage over here in Germany. So, thank you, Zama Khaled. Greetings to wherever you are. And any questions left? How are the flight controls when using only your phone? So we shouldn't expect too much from that feature. I have been watching the presentation, and there was this YouTube girl with a pink, I don't know, clutch, and it was quite interesting because I think that mode is more for people that only want to have fun with these drones. So if you just want to carry it around, you don't need to have the controller with you, even though the controller, let's just check this out. Even though the controller folds down to a really small size. So this is the controller if you just pack it, and but you don't even need it, and you have your phone, and with your phone you then have on the Go app you have like two taps, and you can control the drone. Even though it's of course not as precise as with flying with a remote controller, it's even though a nice option. So just for, I don't know, if you are not planning on using the Mavic but still want to have it in your backpack for, maybe you say, okay, there might be something happening today, I'm not quite sure. So if that's what's happening, you I think would be fine with your phone only. Like 50 meters or something like that is okay. And as I said, usually I'm flying 50 till 80 meters only. But I think many people are into range and maximum ranges. And so that might be a disadvantage, even though, of course, we can use the remote controller. But being honest, I would never, ever order the Mavic Pro without a remote controller. So it's a must-have still. Again. Could I show it without the battery? Of course I can. Removing the batteries is quite easy. We have the Mavic. And on the sides, we have buttons. We can press those, lift up the battery. And this is how tiny it is without the battery inside. The battery compartment is still pretty huge, even though it's really not weighing a lot. It's less than 800 grams in total with the battery in it. So it's really, really light. They packed a lot of stuff in it. And this is how it looks like. Tom, take a breath. Yeah, maybe I should take a breath. But this is exciting. This is new. I have never ever been talking to you guys live, and I have always been asking or answering the questions within the comments below or on Facebook. But the point is, right now I can do this live. This is quite exciting. You know, sometimes it's like that. I'm at an electronics store, and they have like a new drone section, and then there is a guy coming and trying to help me out with buying a Phantom or something. And of course, I don't need the help without being, you know. But at some point, like, the customers start talking to me, and I just love that. I just love talking about the drones. So it's really being enthusiastic. So again, back from the personal stuff. How long is it to fully charge the battery? Yes, the testing is going to come up tomorrow. The battery tests, like the flight time test and the battery test, because I just cannot have these numbers based on one single test. So yeah, what are the differences between the P4 and the Mavic? So there are quite some differences. Of course, the size is one of the super duper main differences, as it is really, really, really easy transporting the Mavic Pro on an airplane. Even taking the Phantom 4 aboard an airplane is fine. You can do this. The backpack fits. For example, the unique Typhoon H does not fit, but the Mavic Pro is so tiny you can just have it inside your girlfriend's or wife's clutch. So that's basically what it's like. And keep in mind to always have the batteries with you aboard, and do not check them as normal luggage. But I think it's super easy. The size is one of the main things. And next to that, there is another Pro for the Phantom 4, of course, which is the stability. And the Mavic Pro has new intelligent flight modes, and probably, I do not think that DJI gives the Phantom 4 those new flight modes as well. For example, the terrain following, where the Mavic auto adjusts the height of the terrain. So if you're going up a hill, the Mavic won't just crash into it, but it will hold its altitude and then follow that direction. What else? New modes. Active track. Does the Phantom 4 have that? Yes. There was something else I forgot about right now. But there was something else. So again, watch the review. It will be all included in there. Should I buy the Mavic or the P4? Yeah, Atil, please wait another week until you purchase yours. And again, oh no, these questions are running through way too fast. Is the app layout the same on that you would use for P3, P4, and Inspire? Basically, yes. So there is one difference. Maybe I can show that. I'm not quite sure. Let me enter my phone. Give me a second. It looks a little different. It's like the style, the new style. So the app looks a little different down there. It's only, I don't know, a question of the look. So basically, it looks the same. This is one of the main cool things about DJI, personally, to me. Whenever they have a new drone coming out, the app is the same. So I don't have to get into the controller and into the app and into everything, into the settings over and over again from the start on. I just can get right into it right away, as with all the other DJI drones before. I think that is one of the points why I love DJI products, next to the good quality. Yeah, there is another. Wait, give me a second. There is another difference. Maybe I can enter that as well. So for example, but that might be due to me using the iPhone, because it looked different on the P4. So now we have these flight modes over here. It looks a little different, and more flight modes. Yeah, again, here, the gesture mode, that was one of the new things as well. The gesture mode, the terrain following, and yeah. Those are, again, the differences, and that was the app. Okay, anything else? The touch to focus thing, sorry for being quiet for such a long time. Usually I keep on talking. The touch to focus thing, yeah, that is an issue. You have to get used to it, but as a professional filmmaker, this is kind of normal to me. Give me 1 second. I want to demonstrate something. Let's get the big bird in for a second. On the Inspire, I have like a real lens. Oh my God, it's just too big for holding it in one hand. I have a real lens, and I always have to keep things in focus myself, even with big filters and a better f-stop, which means we have a lot of depth of field. So if you ever get into that aerial stuff professionally, you will have to get used to pulling the focus manually. I know it's new, but I think on the other hand gives you so many creative opportunities, and I think it's a good thing personally. Again, because it's the filmmaker point of view. Even though I was talking to DJI and I told them this might be a con too many because they just want to go out and fly. Even though you can do that with the Mavic Pro as well. Yeah, again, watch the review for the super detailed questions. Where is your review? Again, Adrian, because you might have just joined the live stream, the review is gonna be available in about a week. And I just wanted to answer that question personally, just trying the new live stream feature. What do you do for your living? Usually I produce films, and yeah, that's why I have all that stuff and equipment in the bag. But from November on, this is going to change completely. I'm not going to tell you what's happening, but if you want to find out, check out facebook.com/TomsTechTime. This is like my site, and I post news and updates and stuff there. And not too many news and updates, so I'm not going to, I don't know, get too crazy. Maybe a little when they have like a new product coming out. Maybe a little too crazy at that at these times, but yeah. Which one will you pick for personal use? For personal use, I will pick the Inspire 1 Pro, because the Inspire 1 Pro is crazy still. Even though the battery life sucks, it's like 18 minutes, and like reality, it's 15 minutes. And that is really not a lot of time, and you really count on every minute. And when I was in Israel filming, I had only 4 batteries with me. And it was terrible. I was just emptying them, and then I had to return like 3 hours drive back, or just charge them in the car, but it took like 2 hours charging a single battery. So still, the Inspire 1 is my absolute favorite, and I will tell you which drone I like better within my review. Okay. Are we done, everybody? I think we are done. And yeah, again, if you want to keep up the conversation, you can join my group as well on Facebook, because that is where the normal chatting happens. It's facebook.com/groups/TomsTechTime. And if you join that group, I will be there as well from time to time, at least, because these days I am heavily working and not trying to get too crazy, only answering people. Tom, are you going to produce a review? Because yes, I am. I am working on that review hardly. And actually, I wanted to film with a different camera because I want to show you some stuff that is on the monitor, but I can't because I'm just using the webcam. Yeah, thanks for being part of this live stream. It was really nice talking to you guys. And yeah, there was one last question. If you guys would like to see a couple of pictures from China, from the headquarters in Shenzhen and from the DJI flagship store in Hong Kong, I still have some video footage left on my computer. I did not cut a video out of it yet. And the point is, I do not have a lot of footage. The point is, I was flying all on my own, and I only had an Osmo with me. And point 3 is that I was not allowed to film inside the headquarters for like 95% of the time that I was inside this building. So there's not that much. But if you guys would like to see DJI from the inside, or if you would like to get an insight, just let me know in the comments, or on Facebook, again, facebook.com/group/TomsTechTime. So it would be awesome to have you aboard. Thanks for watching. Over and out. Stay tuned, fly safe. And again, let me know if you would like to have the Inside DJI super short episode. And again, it's not going to be that super, but if you want to get in touch with, I just said that before. Let's turn this off, and bye-bye. Don't forget to watch my review. And again, if you want to support my work for free, guys, be awesome and purchase your gear through the product links that can always be found in the video descriptions below my videos, because that way I get a small commission and can keep up this really time-eating job. It's really intensive. It's taking a lot of time. So thanks for watching.